As some of you might know, our Jujutsu Kaisen series has come to an end with my mom reacting to all of Jujutsu Kaisen. With that being said, a lot of you guys were really interested in my thoughts of what happened after the anime. Well, this is my first time actually reading it and sitting down and actually trying to dissect and figure out what actually happens after season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Note, I've tried staying away from as many spoilers as possible. Note, also, a lot of you guys in the comments down below have tried to spoil it for everybody, including myself, because I see all the comments. They all get notified on my phone. So I'm trying my best, okay, to stay away from all the spoilers. So when we go through this, please guys, please, I beg of you to try to do spoiler alert, like dash, and like a bunch of enters, okay? So then I don't get any of this spoiled, okay? Because I want to experience this for the first time, and I want this to be a good reaction series. I don't want to fake any reactions. I want this to all be genuine, okay? There's only a couple things that I know, and you guys will know once I get to it. You'll get what I mean once we get to it, okay? So I'm excited to get into this. If you guys are excited to get into this as well, please, for us, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the page, and hit the noti bell to be notified for all the new videos to come. Also, we have our Discord community where you guys can come chat about our manga journey throughout Jujutsu Kaisen. Go down the link in the description below. Come join, come hang out. We also have a giveaway going on in there. And if you guys are also interested in watching all of our videos uncut and unedited, make sure to go check out our Patreon. Now note, these videos will not be unedited because there's no reason to do that. But I'm still throwing this in there for all of you guys that are wanting to, or that are just getting introduced to our channel. And if you guys have seen any of our other content or haven't even seen the mom reaction, make sure to go hit the link up in the, well, it's up here in the corner right of this video, okay? And I say we finally get into this, okay? So from what I've read, I decided to start off on chapter 138 since I believe 137 is like the ending of YUTA and all that stuff. So we're leading straight into 138. Let's begin. The chapter starts off with a statement from a character stating that, is she dead? I don't understand what this meant, okay? And I was actually really confused, especially with this title being the Zenin clan. And my first thought is, okay, it's gotta be probably like Toji or something. No, it is stated by a new character by the name of Zenin that we learn Maki is dying. I believe it's Maki, okay, because it cuts straight into a image of Maki stating that she may be pretty, but she doesn't know how to support a man. And you can learn that Nayo has a lot of hatred towards Maki because of his sexist beliefs. But you know, at the end of the day, there's not an anime or a manga without a little bit of, you know, on edge kind of content, you know? So it goes on to state that we are introduced to two other Zenins by the name of Jinichi and Ogi Zenin. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing these right, okay? I'm still trying to get into this. This is my first manga take. So what I find really interesting about this chapter so far is the fact that we're finally getting introduced to more of the Zenin clan, and that's something that we never really got much of. I might be mistaken, but let me know, but I believe the only little bit of the Zenin clan that we've gotten in the anime is one talks of like back in like season 1 with Mai and Maki Zenin, and it showed Maki leaving the Zenin clan with Mai sitting outside of the door listening in on this conversation. And all we know is the Zenin clan is bad, but we don't really know much about the Zenin clan, which is something that I'm really excited to dive into, and that's something we get instantly. Now, presumably, I'm guessing because of the death of Old Man Zenin in season 2, that there has to be a new head of the Zenin clan. I am guessing he's the head of the Zenin clan. I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive that he is the head of the Zenin clan. We learned that the next head of the Zenin clan is now this character that we were introduced by the name of Zenin, and it is told that he looks down on a bunch of his relatives and peers, which I'm still trying to figure out because I don't know if it's blood relatives or if it's just clan relatives. So that's still something that's a little in the gray area, which hopefully we find out later in this chapter. Something I find really interesting about Nayo's character is how cocky he is and how he decided to insult Jinichi immediately, stating that him and Toji should have switched spots because of how his face looks, which leads into Junichi attacking Nayo immediately, with Nayo not even beating or dropping like a sweat, and just dodges his attack off rip. And before the fight gets out of hand anymore, Ogi ends up stepping in and stops them, stating that Daddy Zenin is at death's door. Now again, I don't know who Daddy Zenin is, but I'm guessing it's the old man Zenin from season 2, because that's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, hey, could be another kind of daddy if you know what I mean. But we are then introduced to one of the headmasters named Nayo Obito. I'm totally butchering this, okay? I'm sorry. Nayo Obito claims that he will start to read the will of Daddy Zenin. And in this will, we discover that the 27th head of the Zenin clan will be Nayo Zenin upon approval by either Ogi Zenin or Junichi Zenin, which Nayo knows neither that is probably going to happen. However, there is one circumstance where this cannot be the case, and it is something that Toji Zenin actually placed into a will, which actually has me thinking maybe it's Toji Zenin that might be the head Zenin or Daddy Zenin. But it kind of makes no sense, because hasn't Toji been dead for who knows how long? So why would he be one of... I don't know, this is getting confusing. But that's JJK for you. I mean, when is anything ever stated just easily and plain out simple? It is stated that if Gojo has been mentally incapacitated or has died, that Megumi Fushiguro is welcomed into the Zenin clan and becomes the head Zenin and has all assets and all weapons at his disposal. Which, obviously, you know, Nayo does not appreciate. Because coming off of what I've seen with Nayo's character, he seems like a very big, cocky, prestigious asshole, and he just wants to be claimed as the best and all the Zenin, and he thinks that he is the best out of everybody in his clan currently. With this new information, Nayo decides, hey, I'm gonna go find where Megumi is, and I'm gonna go kill him, which he discovers Megumi is currently searching for Yuji in Tokyo, which we don't know why Yuji is still in Tokyo. We don't understand that, besides of the Shibuya incident, which what we were left off of, which was a clap. And that's it. So hopefully we find something out very shortly, which we do. Nayo discovers that Megumi and Yuji are both in the same place, and he finds out who Yuji Itadori is, which is Sukuna's vessel. He claims that he will kill both Sukuna's vessel and Megumi Fushiguro, which will then grant him the head of the Zenin clan. And as Tokyo is now filled with all these demons, sense of fake ghetto's plan, it leads to a pretty open opportunity to take on a little bit of action and, you know, if you get what I mean. The panel then cuts to Yuki apologizing for her not being present in the Shibuya incident until the very last second. She states that the situation had reached a point where she thought that she should just temporarily just keep an eye on things. And here we find out that Yuki isn't on anybody's side really, that she more just wants to see curses to be eradicated from the face of the earth. And because of her ondoings, she decides that she will take on the responsibility for delivering those kids who were there, as well as it's about time that she needs to confront Tengen about what she has done. Then she asks, what will you do? Then it cuts to Yuji Itadori sitting on a flight of stairs. We learn that Choso and Yuji have been together since that day of what Ghetto unleashed onto the entirety of Tokyo. And Choso asks Yuji, hey, are your injuries okay? And Yuji responds with, yeah, they're getting better, because he believes that Sukuna is getting stronger, probably because of all the fingers that he was fed by, I believe, Jogo, so kind of makes sense. After this, Yuji and Choso decide to have a little bit more of like a conversation or like a heart-to-heart and understanding each person's perspectives of what's going on in the world as we know. We learn that Yuji has the understanding that Sukuna is plotting something with Megumi Fushiguro, and he is still trying to figure out what that is. So he thinks the best course of action is to leaving all of his friends and his comrades. This allows Yuji to literally be alone, unless if certain somebody decides to join him, which Choso then ends up having some kind of realization into understanding what Yuji was trying to state when they were fighting. Because to think back on season 2, when Choso and Yuji first fought, Choso stated, "What did my brother's final words say?" or "What were my brother's final words?" Yuji obviously looked pretty sad because he knows he didn't want to attack and kill them, but because of Choso's rage, he decided, screw all that, I'm taking revenge on my brothers. Choso states that it's fine and that he understands that it's just a misunderstanding, and that if Eso and Kichitsu were in his place, that he would understand that it would be probably the same thing, that he understands it's not about forgiving or not forgiving. At the end of the day, brothers are just like that. With this, Yuji and Choso decide to team up together, head back to Tokyo, and try to eradicate any of the curses that are left over in Shibuya. Or I should just say all of Tokyo, because at this point, they're just running rampant. And that's where we're cut to a final panel of Yuji, Choso, Nayo, and YUTA, which we haven't seen it much of YUTA just yet, but that leads us into the next chapter here. Chapter 139, called Hunter. Now we're back to right where season 2 has left off, man. This is what I was waiting for, because I was confused off of this. With Yuji doing the good old clap, and then all these curses just pop up. We see that Yuji identifies that there are some more curses, so he begins to run. And after the aftermath of Geto's plan, as I stated before, we see that curses are just running like in the mass throughout the city. We finally see Choso and Yuji teaming up with an understanding, instead of Choso just showing up saying, "You are my brother," and then that's it. It's like Vader showing up with Luke Skywalker and saying, "I am your father," thinking, hey, yeah, we're good. We're buddies now. Nah, we got to talk this out, you know? Choso unleashes a piercing blood, which blasts through almost all of the curses, besides maybe one or two, which then, of course, Yuji comes up and decides to deliver the 1-2 Yuji Itadori special and cleans up the rest of the mess. Choso goes on to praise Yuji over how far he's become as a jujutsu sorcerer, just over the course of how long they've known each other, because they've only known each other within the past few days or so off of the last fight that they had, and with the realization that they're brothers. Choso also goes on to state something about Yuji which I do find very interesting. He states that Yuji Itadori, he is now a demon god. That is kind of interesting to me. That kind of gave me chills, because I'm wondering what this means, and I know we will eventually find out what this quote will mean. But until then, we have a conversation of Choso asking Yuji, "Hey man, does your father have stitches on his head?" And then before we get a response, Nayo shows up. He immediately states, "Hey, I don't see Megumi, but you're here." And then we learn how Nayo has incredibly fast speed, popping between both Yuji and Choso within the matter of seconds before they even realize how fast he can move. With Nayo also stating how he wants Megumi to die, and Yuji obviously does not like that one bit. But before he goes and shows off his immaculate speed, he decides, hey, I don't want him to just die. I want him to write a little something first. And I don't know what that might be. Maybe a love letter, maybe a poem, maybe a haiku. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure it's probably just something to transfer the will onto him. And this is where a fight just begins to break out, with Nayo karate chopping Yuji into the neck and Choso trying to land a punch, with Nayo moving so fast that Choso and Yuji miss their attacks. Both Choso and Yuji acknowledge his speed, and then Nayo sits there and says, hey, maybe I should up it up a bit. And just before Nayo decides to up his speed, ends up, there's a giant sense of some kind of presence. And this is where my favorite part comes in. Yuta Watanabe shows up. Yes, I know it's not, it's a Kotsu or whatever, but it's an inside joke, okay? Look up Yuta Watanabe, you will understand. I live in Arizona, okay? Basketball reference, but Yuta appears stating, you're not alone. probably to Nayo. And that is where chapter 139 ends. And I was contemplating on going into the next chapter for this, but I think this is a great place to leave off. And I'm excited for this chapter, man. I'm excited for what's to come. And what I think is going to happen is obviously a fight's going to occur, especially with how Yuta decided at the very end of season 2 that he is going to be the executioner for Yuji Itadori. All I know is madness is about to occur, and I cannot wait. And if you guys cannot wait either, please, for us, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the page, and hit that noti bell. I'm telling you, man, if anything crazy happens in Jujutsu Kaisen, even more than what I've experienced in season 2, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I just, please nobody else die, man.